All right, y'all, settle in. Story time. So my first job was at GNC, the General Nutrition Center. We sold like vitamins and protein powder and stuff. I don't know, it was my first job. I was hired by this guy named Laszlo. He had this super thick accent, he was a super beefy guy, and the only people I ever met there was him and his girlfriend, who I didn't even know the name of. So he trains me for 2 hours when he hires me, and then he calls me in later that week and says, "Do you want to work 2 hours early?" And I was like, yes, an extra 2 hours of work. What I didn't know is that he called me in 2 hours early so that he could train me for 2 more hours and then skip town with his girlfriend. I don't know if they fled the country. I don't know if they were on the run from the mafia. They were just gone. He left me a sticky note though. I couldn't read it, but he left me one. So there's Miss Berryhill having 4 hours of work training ever, and my boss skips town, and all of a sudden I am in charge of the whole store with no one to call, no boss, no phone. Y'all, it was terrifying. I don't even know. You don't even know. I don't even know. After a while, I got my feet underneath me and I did what had to get done, but it was a lot all at once, going from absolutely no practice or almost no training to taking care of the whole store. No training, almost no previous experience. This sounds a little bit like distance learning. So y'all, I know that distance learning has been a really big thing to start, and I know that it might not be your first choice for school, but here we are, and it gives you a chance to do something that you might not have been able to do before. Be in charge. Before this, you might not have even needed to use a calendar. It didn't really matter which week it was or anything like that, but now you get to choose what you do and when. And while that's a little new and might be scary, is kinda cool. This week, we're focusing on organization and catching our breath. I know you guys have heard a lot about independent learning over the last few weeks, but I wanted to circle back around to it because you've done it for a few weeks and I want to see how it's going. And if you haven't heard these tips and tricks, maybe you can try them. Calendars are one of the most helpful things that I have ever discovered in my 29 years of life. I didn't really like using them at first, and I didn't want to, but honestly, they're the best thing. If it works, it works. First, make sure you have Google Calendar. It'll show it in month view, but personally, I would go into the week view over on the side. Now, start with your first class. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a plus. Click it and click Event. And of course, you're gonna wanna give it a title. Go ahead and put in your 1A class and bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Make sure you have the time right too. When you click on More Options, it'll give you a chance to tell it whether to repeat or not. It'll say does not repeat, but you should put it for every week. My second saving grace in school is checklists. Now, I have an app in mind that I want y'all to start using later, but it's not in self-service yet. So, for now, let's just work with good old-fashioned paper. Now, this week, I actually made you a checklist on Canva, so all you're gonna do is download that to Notability. And honestly, you can make your own checklists on Notability. It's super easy. However, if you're not quite ready to go ahead and make your own checklists online or on Notability, you can always do it on paper. Start with writing checklist and what week it is. Then, go ahead and write your first hour there. And you're gonna make a little box for every task you have to do. I could choose to write down just day ones, but I think you should write down the entire week's stuff, don't you? When you have multiple things in the same assignment, like with these Do It Doodles, you can even make little check boxes for each one. And, of course, as you do the work, you can go ahead and check them off. That wasn't accurate. Ta-da! And that's what I have for you right now. Again, I really want to get you guys on some other apps, and I'm hoping to bring you some other videos soon. But for now, just pick one of these two. And always, always, always remember this. I believe in you. You got this. No, really. Really, really. You got this.